Okay, today's notes we're going to have two different things that we're going to be talking about. They're not really related. The first thing we're going to talk about are adverbs of frequency, or how to express how often somebody does something. So we have expressing frequency with adverbs, or just plain adverbs of frequency. Okay, we use adverbs of frequency to talk about how often somebody does something. Do they do it every day? Sometimes, always. Those are called adverbs of frequency. Okay. I just said this. These expressions of how often you do something, these are just called adverbs or adverbial phrases. So, even when you're in English and you say that she runs every day, you could say, every day is a expression of frequency, adverb, or an adverbial phrase. They all are the same thing. Okay, this is the chunk. There's three different chunks you need to know. The first group, these adverbs always go right before the verb, the conjugated verb. Okay. Well, I guess I should say usually, not always. The three are siempre, always, rara vez, rarely, and nunca, never. Okay, so you need to know, if you're writing just very minimal things, that siempre, rara vez, and nunca all go before the verb in a sentence. And I have three examples. Isabel siempre llega tarde a la escuela. Isabel rara vez habla en clase. And Isabel nunca usa un diccionario. Okay. She always arrives late to school. Isabel rarely talks in class. And she never uses a dictionary. Okay. And it kind of goes with our English too. It wouldn't really sound right to us if I said Isabel uses never a dictionary. Okay, like putting it after the verb. What's that?
Russian? Yeah, you get new chuckle.
Yeah, you have to turn off your autocorrect, I think.
Hate autocorrect. I'm trying to correct where.
Okay, so those three go before the verb. Always, rarely, and never. All right, there's another group. These go right after the verb. They are mucho and poco. Mucho means often, and poco is a little. Ricardo estudia mucho. He studies a lot or often. And Isabel habla poco in the clase. She talks very little in class, or a little. Again, it sounds better to us in English that Isabel talks little bit in class versus Isabel little talks in class. So it kind of you rely on your English to help you when it comes to memorizing these. And the last group, this is the last slide with adverbs of frequency. Todos los días, a veces, and de vez en cuando. All of these can go at the very, very beginning of a sentence or at the very, very end of the sentence. Okay, so you have some freedom what to do with those. Todos los días, every day. Isabel llega tarde todos los días, or todos los días Isabel llega tarde. You just stick at the beginning or end. They're a little bit longer phrases, so maybe that can help you remember that the longer phrases go at the beginning or end. Salud. A veces is another one, sometimes. A veces Isabel llega tarde, or Isabel llega tarde a veces. And the last one, de vez en cuando, once in a while. De vez en cuando Isabel llega tarde. Isabel llega tarde de vez en cuando. Does anybody have any questions about these? When it comes test time, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you something like Isabel and llegar tarde, and then I'll give you an adverb to go with it. So I will ask you to put those sentences together, conjugate the verb to agree with Isabel, and then stick in the expression or phrase in the appropriate spot in the sentence. So you do need to know where these go in relationship to the verb or just the sentence in general. Okay. I'm going to stop the video before we start in on expressing obligations. Let you finish writing these.